Wrong. Move on. I can't move on. I have OCD and ADHD and every kind of D there is, except the big D. What? See this Myrna trade? See how it evolved into a reason to buy, and now it's not a, you're not changing your life on either one of those trades, but at least you're seeing it on this kind of a day where there's not much going on. All right, let's go say hello to the peasants and the serfs now, and we'll have a cup of coffee. We'll answer a few questions, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Actually, I got nowhere to be today. What are you guys doing this weekend? Anybody in the vicinity? Anybody in Asbury Park area this Friday? Want to come hang out? Speaking of music, I'm going out to I'm not even going to pay. I usually just wander the street outside the area at the Wonder Bar. Just sometimes I bring a lawn chair, just hang out. But this is not the Stone Pony. This is the Wonder Bar down the block. Anyway, if you like the Grateful Dead, there's always a Dead cover band somewhere. But when they're in Asbury, I usually go over there. And then some fishing, even though there's no fish where I am now. It's pretty sad. But we went down the river. Ever get off the boat? We went down river, the Navesink River, into what's called Sweetwater. You guys know Jersey. Where America was. A lot of American flags, a lot of people on jet skis. And if you know, there's a spot where you can pull your boat up, kind of just anchor to the shore, or your anchor around a tree or something. Hung out there for a while. America. How do you improve on entries? You do what like I just did. Buy a little bit. If you're wrong, it's a very small loss. But if you're right, you're kind of feeling it. And then you add a little bit. Like this Myrna trade. You see how that started? It started with, hey, why don't we look to buy it on the pullback? Next thing you know, you'd be adding to it. Now, you're looking for this is your Andy Dufresne, Kardashian. And if it gets over here, suddenly you got yourself a new trade because you're buying VWAP faux show bros. Let's see if the Apple panned out the same way. Yeah, it's all right. You still want to get some more out of it, but you're not really expecting too much on this day. That's why today's a good day just to hang, and just to show you bid offer. Again, to remind you that not to trade options on a day like today. And listen, everything can change in the next 20 minutes, but usually squadooshi 2 hours. The rest of the day sales stays kind of squadooshi. And, someone was saying, by the way, I love getting emails and questions, but it's very difficult for me to articulate what we're talking about in an email. Somebody asked, he's like, well, what do you do when the stock seems to be at VWAP and just chopping around it the whole day? You're looking at it. You don't do too much, right? So the Qs literally have been at VWAP the whole morning. But you could trade the chart pattern around the VWAP. So for me, it's fake out. Again, my first trade was long Qs. Fake them out, shake them out. VWAP break. Got paid. Get stopped out. Haven't traded since. But then fake them out, shake them out. VWAP break doesn't amount to anything. Next thing you know, it's a VWAP break to the downside. Didn't short them. Then confirmation of a reason to short. Quickie short down to the bottom of the range. Understanding the squadooshi nature of the day. You got to cover. Get stopped out. And now we're basically, again, it's chopped like this where even if you're long, you're still in, and the short, you're still in, because it really hasn't moved enough to get either side to completely be done. The shorter is looking at the high of the day and prior day VWAP. The long is looking at the low of the day and the 71250. You're basically in limbo on both sides. Nobody's winning unless you're scalping. I don't have any thoughts. My only thought is if I had no kids and a wife, I'd probably run for president. But I'm not putting them in the spotlight. I could take the pain of 30% of people hating me. I don't need my kids and my wife exposed to it. But I am planning a halibut fishing trip. Anybody living on the West Coast? I was just looking into that, going out there with my brother-in-law and my son. We might just take a trip to the West Coast, do some halibut fishing, if not Alaska. Because if we go to Alaska, then I'm going. I don't know if you guys have ever been salmon fishing, but that's a lot of fun. Getting in the river with your waders on, looking out for bears as you're fishing, then going to the lake, try to catch the king salmon, and the trip off with some halibut fishing. Hell yeah. Bruce at the what he stop by surprise. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan. I mean I like a few of his songs. I mean, but I don't know. I never get it. I don't get him. I don't get it. I don't see the love affair. But you know what? That's what people say about the Grateful Dead and everything else. Like I love me some of that old, Born to Run shit, but I don't know. I didn't even watch the movie. Anybody watch that movie? When the guy from The Bear played Springsteen? I haven't heard a thing about it. Like it came and went. Anybody even see it? Oh, really? I watched the Bob Dylan movie. It was all right. Chalamet as Bob Dylan. That was all right. But I just watched the Odyssey. It's on Look Movie now. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a pretty decent copy. I just watched it again. It's pretty good. The best movie, and still I still think as Val Kilmer is Jim Morrison. I watched the Doors movie. I've seen the Doors movie about 50 times because I love the Doors. I love that movie. I just think it was so well made too. And if you like historical stuff, I mean, my one of my favorite movies of all time is The Aviator. I just love period pieces. I do like that stuff. I think The Aviator might have is top 10 movies of all time. If you haven't seen it, it's the Howard Hughes story. It's so good. Oh, my wife loves Furious. Yeah, I got to get into it. Apparently, yeah. These people are vampires, Jim. That scene still creeps me out, man. Yeah, when he's hanging out with Andy Warhol, and that crazy weird dude plays Andy Warhol. That dude's out of his mind. What's his name from Back to the Future? that, dude, that dude's that guy's a lunatic. He was on Letterman one time, wanted to fight Letterman. It's hilarious. Yeah, Crispin Glover. That dude's still alive. Never did a lot, but he was always impactful in everything he did. Like Daniel Day Lewis, that dude. I mean, he makes a movie every 7 or 8 years. It's always some great movie, and it just disappears. Daniel Day Lewis. What was his last movie? Right? Was it the movie where no, like the oil movie? Did he do anything since then? There Will Be Blood, which is awesome too. Well, anyway, today is a great time to ask questions because I'm just chilling. I don't got much going on. Nothing's really changed, and right on, right on schedule. August 31st. This is what you normally get. Squadouche, right? I don't even know that one. Yeah, Daniel Day. Yeah, from my left foot to what was the movie where he's at the end? That last 20 minutes when he's running to try to save his girlfriend, and that music that's going, he's just going after those Indian guys that kidnapped his girl. Damn, Gangs in New York, pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. What's the name of that movie? Oh, Last of the Mohegans, right? That's another great movie, man. Gangs in New York, a little bit too long, but still pretty freaking awesome. I love the Irish mayor guy. I love that. I love that dude in every role he plays. He's great. What was the movie where he was in an Irish prison and had taken acid? What movie was that? That was a really great movie. I think he was wrongly convicted or something. Or yeah, that was really good movie. We just watched a horror flick, which wasn't too bad because they're usually terrible. Oh no, the horror flick. I don't remember the name of it. We just watched the De Niro movie, The Whisper Man. It's the same story I've seen a million times, but it was pretty good. Whisper Man just came out on Netflix a couple days ago. Oh, well, there's something that's going by. So check it out. On days where there's not much going on, it's a great day to just ask some questions, chilling out, right? Couple of, some of these trades that were interesting this morning are still the same ones. Yeah, SpaceX was one, CBRS. At least CBRS gave you a chance to get in a couple different times, but other than that, nothing going on. Marvell. Oh, well, that's interesting to watch. That's you know Andy Dufresne at its best right there on a stock that just reported earnings. So there you go. And there's your new watch, 212.50 area and VWAP. It's worth watching. Yeah, what happened to PayPal? They lose the bid on the takeover. I saw the stock was down 10 points last week. Ho, coming. Ooh, this is actually important because it's on it's on the verge of a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. That's more interesting than the other ones, actually. So this is, see how it hasn't gone green yet? So that's worth watching for sure, right? Just came out of a new Andy Dufresne under VWAP. You've already faux showed and VWAP broke and held from on top. You're bullish already. Fake them out, shake them out. VWAP break. Consolidation above VWAP. Andy Dufresne comes out of there, gets into a new Andy Dufresne under the prior day. Possible full blown reversal. And if you're in it, you definitely stay in this because you're on the right side right here. And you're looking for the 50 and then the 61. And then you're only going to be 5 cents away from a green reversal on a day where there's nothing going on. That's a good one to be in right now. And there you go. So now, even though I'm obviously not in this trade, but if I was in it at 53 or even 53.10, 53.20, I'm selling. I'm selling something right here because that's the law. You just got blue to orange. You got to sell some. You also have to expect something now to happen because things tend to happen at the orange line. You'll either get selling and then a consolidation back into this chop, or a break, a hold, and you got yourself a whole new set of parameters to believe in. You know, if you listen to the lyrics again, I know I'm like, I love music and I love trading. Every song could be somehow trading related. See, now I could get up around whenever. I used to get up on time. All right, who just sent me a 1981 J.R. Richard? Is that a 1982 Donruss Bobby Mercer? Who was sending me these pictures? And why do you have an 82 Donruss Bobby Mercer in your house? Oh, 1980 Raleigh's Fingers. Oh my God. Oh my God. An 87 Donruss Juan Gonzalez. I haven't seen these cards in a really long time. Who is this? Who are you? Who's sending me these cards? Oh my God. 86 Topps Nolan Ryan. Jesus. Had about 10,000 of those. Cool. One of my favorite cards, a 78 Thurman Munson. Is that the Burger King one? An 82 Donruss Bobby Mercer. Why do you have that? All right. Look at this PayPal. Walking through it. There you go. Get that extra 3 cents out of it. You got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on a day where there's not much going on. Yeah, this is a typical trade, right? If you bought it, see, coming off the VWAP, otherwise known as the nephew trade. And let me ask you a question. I know there's nothing really going on. There's only one other stock I spoke about. Well, two, I guess. CBRS and SpaceX, right? Now look how the day just evolves, right? Just by watching the one or two names that are in play consistently, right? Myrna, right? We managed to catch another little payday on that one, just hanging out. Apple, yeah, went back into the bottom range, but still, you got something out of it. But then you got CBRS, which at this 175 to 180 level has been a scalping dream. And if you haven't noticed over the last 6 months, when this thing gets going, it tacks on 15, 20 points occasionally. That's why when you could get into this thing with $1.50 at risk, bang, there you go. 80 just got you 82.50. Really not much else going on. Sticking with these 3 or 4 symbols, Qs, at least we're trading it on the right side. CBRS long, Myrna long. You just caught your PayPal. Hopefully it goes green for you right now. 2 cents away from going green. Remember, you still want to sell as it approaches break even, because at break even, you'll usually get a little selling. But now you got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Congratulations. And look how that stock started as a rejection of prior day, collapsed through the 1 minute, tanks down to the prior day close area. And now you got the fake out, shake out at the specific area where it held last week. I'm assuming you did some work here. And just like the Dix trade, which got slammed that first day, became a decent long for the next 3 or 4 days. Now you got the PayPal, which got slammed on Friday, became a decent long. Slammed on Monday, became a decent long. Congratulations, you're a real trader now. Nice find there. Good one. More importantly, thank you for figuring out that song for me. That would have been annoying all day. We were getting down on the river to some Billy Strings and some stuff. We were in America on the river. America. My if you know this song. Be right back. I'm gonna go get a snack if you're hanging out.
I was a flower going wild and free, all I wanted you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I wanted you to shade me and be my leaves. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If you were a river in the mountains tall, the rumble of your water would be my call. If you were the winter, I know I'd be the snow, just as long as you're with me when the cold winds blow. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If you were a wink, I'd be a nod. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a pod. If you were a floor, I'd wanna be the rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If If you were the wood, I'd be the fire. If you were the love, I'd be the desire. If you were a castle, I'd be your moat. And if you were an ocean, I'd learn to float. All I want is you be my bride. Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you stay with me. Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, you cry to me. When you're all alone in your lonely room, and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume, don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like a cry? Come on, cry to me. Oh, nothing can be said in a glass of wine alone. Loneliness, such a waste of time. Oh yeah, you don't ever have to walk alone. Oh, you see, oh come on, take my hand, baby, won't you walk with me? Oh yeah, when you're waiting for folks to come in the night, but there's no one. Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a crying?
So, yes, you want to ruin our good feeling? Let's go on TikTok Live and ruin all of our good feelings, right? Let's take the over-under on how many people ask me if that's a Bloomberg term. It's not funny. It's actually sickening. All right, let's go on TikTok. We'll stay on. We'll go on for 24 minutes. What's the over-under in 24 minutes? How many people ask me, is that a Bloomberg terminal? And then how many people ask me how much money I'm up and what my win rate is? So let's put those odds in. Can you set a poll for us, Minotaur, Viper? Let's have some fun. With a side piece, there's a 50-1 odds somebody will make fun of my screen. 75-1 somebody will make fun of my desk itself. It's been rare lately. I only had that guy show up twice. He doesn't like my my IKEA desk. Can't trust me as a trader. Anybody have any song requests? We're going. Think mountain. Think river trip down the river. That's where we're going today. I'll go any Chris Stapleton song. Or if you like the band, always a good choice. You guys like Masterpiece? It's one of my desert island discs. All right, let's ruin our happy feeling by talking to the peasants and serfs on TikTok. Ready?
Decided to go back to college. Everybody was telling me that the college was home.
Who's ready for SEC football this weekend? This guy. Hey, by the way, listen, I know I'm good at this, but you realize where the PayPal went, right? 5366, where I said you want to be selling on a Squaducci kind of day at break even. I'm pretty good at what I'm doing here. Back to my hotel room, where I got me a date with a pretty little girl from Greece. She promised she'd deal with me when I paint my masterpiece. You guys know the lyrics? It's a sing-along today. We're having a good old time. Ready? Oh, the hours we spent inside the Coliseum. Dodging lions and wasting time. And wasting time. Oh, those mighty kids of the jungle, I could hardly stand to see them. Oh, it's her hand. It's been a long, long time. Now we're taking the day off. I just wanted to say hello. The back of my memory. You know it. When I was walking on a hilltop, following a pack of wild geese. Sing it. Someday everything is gonna sound like a rhapsody. Bring it home right now. Little bridge action right now. Sailing around the world in a dirty gondola. Oh, to be back in the land of now bring it home. Bring it home. When I left Rome, landed in Brussels, on a plane ride so bumpy that I almost cried. Clergyman in uniform. Everyone was there to greet me when I stepped inside. My favorite line right here. Newspaper man eating candy had to be held back by big police. Sing it, everybody. Bring it on home. Someday everything's gonna be different. When I paint that masterpiece. So our theme today is rivers. If you guys, I don't know, guys, what you're doing this weekend. We were hanging out on the river in Jersey, the Navesink into Sweetwater, if you guys know the area. But there's a lot of America going on, a lot of waving flags and drinking beer. Well, you better not say you're having a gay old time in the neighborhood I was in, because somebody might come and get you. We're having a good old time. So what's up there, TikTokers, YouTubers? We're crossing the streams right now. And I just want to say today, on August 31st, is notorious one of the slowest days in trading of the year. Today might be slow. Tomorrow gets even slower. Wednesday's slow. Thursday even slower. Friday almost non-existent. So as a professional trader, sorry to say that out loud, pseudo-professional trader who knows how to make money part of knowing how to make money is when knowing not to trade. And you don't want to be doing too much when there's squadouche going on. Squadouche is a technical term. And if anybody needs to know how to spell it, let me show it to you in graphical. By the way, if anyone would like any things, I was looking through some old things. This is the my dollar bill. Somebody called me dollar bill. This is a solid jello creation. That would be Glick bucks right there. But right now we are living in squadouche, right? Squadouche. And I remember back when we first got this whole thing we got this thing started, live trading in front of an audience, right? And we used to have players that would show up at 11:43 on a squadouche kind of day. By the way, I'm taking song requests also, if you guys are interested. Anything river, think strings, think Skinnerd, thinking, Billy Strings would also be good. Oh, let's put on some Billy Strings while we're waiting. Dust in a baggie. You know Billy Strings? You should. He's already in the Nashville Music Hall of Fame. Would you believe that? This kid's about 30 now. So while we're sifting through some music and we're hanging out, Sweet Home Alabama, always a great choice. Yeah, I think we played that twice, as a matter of fact. But yeah, love me some Skinner. Love hanging out on the boat. We literally hung out on the boat from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 5 in the afternoon. Just a really good time, just hanging with the family and a couple of neighbors next door. I got a place down right off the Navesink River near Atlantic City. Not much fishing like it used to be. It used to be really great fishing around there. Fluke, even some blackfish. Stripers used to come in, really kind of dead after 2012. The storm like carved up the bottom of the river and kind of just ruined fishing for a while. Hopefully it comes back, but I don't know. But why are we having this conversation? Why are we putting on music and why are we just chilling? Because when there's squadouche going on and you came to play and the toys you came to play with all did their thing, especially on a day where there's not much going on, you take your toys and you go home, right? I'm actually not putting on trades anymore, but we're going to just kind of have a moment here. I just want to invite you guys. This would be a great time to get to know me and my pal, Solid Jello, and the crew that we built at the Hit the Bid website. I run a website. This is called the Trading Rig. I built it myself. It's just a 32 gig RAM AMD trip down there. Just 125. You don't really need hard drive space. But I don't do Pokemon. I only do baseball cards, but good question. But yeah, I'm sifting through my cards right now and my silver. Anyway, but let me get one point out. I would love to answer all your questions, but what I would love to do right now is to invite everybody in the listening area to come hang out with us, because this might be 3 or 4 of the most boring days of the year, but this is the time where you learn when there's not much going on, right? And especially when you have a day like we had this morning, this is as perfect as it can get, right? I came in looking to buy Moderna. Moderna did the thing I want to see it do, and I want to explain what that thing is to you so you'll be able to make money with us next time. So my goal in life, well, I have a lot of goals, but one of my goals is to take everybody off TikTok, because TikTok is not a good place to be. It is a cesspool of misinformation, awfulness, hate, and most importantly, I'm being impersonated by 21 individuals That's why I'm trying to change my look. If you noticed, I grew a beard and now I'm wearing glasses. Remember me? Hey, it's the same guy. Look at that. I was incognito, right? So there's 21 people on this app. So now I have to say this every time I do a video. See, they can't do a live feed because there still is only one me. But I've got 21 impersonators, and they're doing such a good job that they built an entire website. 3 different websites. One is a copy trading website. Let me just say this affectionately. I will never do copy trading because it doesn't help anybody. It just hurts you in the end. I will never do copy trading. The other website's selling something that I would sell, a mentorship program. But I don't do that either because the mentorship program that I used to do, I would only be with, 1 or 2 people at a time. Now I do that mentorship, but I do it live in front of 2 to 3 to 4 to 500,000 people a day on my own website. So the only way around it is to remind you guys my favorite number. Well, actually, before we get there, let's see if you know my favorite number. And I want to say something, and I find it to be absolutely insane. So you guys know I have 2 kids, right? And I've got all these gift cards from, Christmases and birthdays that have come and gone, and we never use them, right? So I've been trying to give them away as presents. No obligation needed, just for fun, right? I don't mind. And if you're out there, right? 2 individual people who guessed the number that I was thinking, who won the presents, right? 43, you know my number now. Lieutenant Dan's out there. So I sent both of these cards through the mail, and they both came back to me. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to come to your home. I just needed to send them. So you won, and then you sent me the wrong addresses, and I sent them to you, and they both came back to me. For some reason, I cannot get. I've been trying to give these away for 2 years now. I can't even give them away. Oh my God. Anyway, if anybody has any kids that still use iTunes, come to the website. We'll play Kenny Glick Trivia. Now, there's 2 reasons we want to play Kenny Glick Trivia. One reason, so I can give free stuff away, but secondly, is to prevent the scammers. So here's what we're going to do. My name's Kenny Glick. My number is 43. All right, so now when we play random numbers, I'm going to have to use a different number soon. I've been trading since 1992. My broker's name was Jan Grossman. Okay? I never do copy trading, and I don't do mentorship programs. So when the scammer contacts you, you ask him what his favorite number is. If he doesn't know 43, you know he's a scam. If he doesn't know who my broker was in 1992, you know it's not me. What's the first stock that I ever traded? International Game Technology, IGT. First stock I ever bought from Jan Grossman in 1992. Okay, and my number is 43. So ask them those questions. I will never, ever contact you, ever, unless you contact me first. I will never email you unless you've emailed me first. I don't do those things. What I do is trade and talk shit. That's what I do well in life, and I really have no other skills. So I do that, and I do that pretty much all day. Now, so why are we sitting here hanging out doing this when there's not much going on? Because these are the days where if you can survive last week into this week, you're going to make it in any market. Because this is a squadouche market, but yet the trades that set up, right, still work well. You're just not going to get as paid on those trades, and there's going to be less and less of them on a day where there's not much to do. That's the only difference. So you have to understand that our mantra as traders are make a day's pay and go away. These are those days. Make a day's pay and go away, especially on August 31st when you probably have a lot of different other things you want to do. And if you're married, you probably got a whole laundry list of shit that you got to do for this weekend, right? The list is right there. I got my chores, right? Anybody married here for 25 years? You don't really have a relationship with your wife anymore. You're just basically the guy that does things, right? There's no need to ask anymore. There's just a list of shit for me to do waiting on the desk. That's what I do. And that's all I do. I don't get a hello or a have a good day. I just get a list of shit to do. Get these things done before Friday. And also a note, we'll be leaving at 1:00 on Friday. Don't even think about staying to the end of the day on option expiration going into Memorial Day weekend, even though it's Labor Day weekend. But I know what she means, because nobody should be here Friday afternoon going into options expiration, even though something may happen, but chances are not. Anyway, and by the way, if you are thinking about getting married, make money first, then get married. It's a lot more difficult when you have kids and you're married, because then you have more responsibility and the risks become a little bit more great. So anyway, what are we talking about? We're talking about doing squadouche. We're talking about trading, but we're talking about iTunes cards. We're talking about music. We're talking about rivers. We're talking about boating. We're talking about fishing, but we're also talking about doing the most important thing. Email me right now, because I'm going to be here tomorrow for at least 3 hours. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be here for at least 3 hours. And on Thursday, I'm going to be here for at least 3 hours. Even on Friday, when my wife is going to be sitting there with laser beams in the back of my skull to get the hell out of here, to go down the shore, I'm going to be here for at least 3 or 4 hours. So I do options, yes, but I don't do a lot of options because there's not enough follow through right now to be trading options. And that's what we were talking about today. This market is a scalpy, squadouche market, but that's kind of one of my favorite markets, because I don't want to sit here all day. And I definitely don't want to sit here all day. So if I know the end of the summer months, these 2 weeks are notoriously slow, there's not going to be any follow through. So I have a list of a list of things. I won't be trading options, check. I won't be staying here past 12:30 or 1:00, check. There's a lot less to do. I won't be doing much trading, check. And that's your go-to. That's your list, right? Every year around this time. But you still trade exactly like you normally would trade. You just have that in the back of your mind that, you know what, if I get paid on the first couple of trades, maybe this was the day where I'll say, you know what, I'm going to leave. There are days when if you leave, it's a terrible decision because you did miss out on an extraordinary amount of stuff. Like Friday. Friday afternoon was pretty good. I wasn't here for it, but a lot of the trades that I was in did follow through, and there were some decent ideas. But mostly what trading is about is avoiding all the mistakes. And one of the biggest mistakes traders do is over trading. I don't mind you being active on an active day, but when there's not much going on, you're supposed to do not much. And that's why if you stay focused on our wonderful 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal trade, there really wasn't too many of these today. But if you stayed focused on them, you made your money. You treat trading as a job. It's not a hobby. It's not gambling, right? Even though by nature, any stock market or any purchase where you don't know the end result is a gamble. This is calculated, algorithmic, let's call it gambling, right? But you have an advantage. And the advantage you have, it's not about knowing whether the trade's going to work. These work pretty well. What you do know is that you know where your risk is. And that is a huge part of trading, knowing what you have at risk. And then that's where you trade from. You trade from that position. Like, for instance, we were trading this stock Myrna, mRNA. We did well with it out of the gate, and we just nibbled on it again. And it got to the price where we thought it would get to. And then it got there, and that's where we sold it. And then it starts to go back down where we sell the rest. And by now, as it's getting back to the VWAP, we've already done with the trade, but it's called a little scalp, because we got a fake out, shake out, VWAP break, fake out, shake out, VWAP break. So 2 times while we were sitting here this morning, the setup presented itself with a low risk entry for a low medium reward. And if you're taking small risk, take the small gain. Medium risk, take a medium gain. You don't have to take large risk for large wins. That's why when we trade, you trade the way we do, every trade is low risk. Some trades just become bigger wins than others. On days where there's squadouche going on, you don't even imagine yourself holding on for the bigger move because you know that bigger move's probably not coming today. Kind of why I like this environment. I'm not going to miss out on anything by taking a quick profit. And that's the way that I've always traded. So here we are. So yeah, I mean, a lot of information, a lot of great stuff going on. But more importantly, my name's Kenny Glick. 21 people impersonating me on YouTube on this app over here. 2 great ways to prevent that from happening. I'll never call you, ever, unless you call me. Now you know. Secondly, send me an email, and you'll be on my website where you don't have to worry about scammers because it's my website. It's just me and my pal Solid and my crew of 250 to 300 people that show up every day, and we just talk shop and make money and throw some ideas around, and then next thing you know, it's 20 years and everything's working. Speaking of silver, you guys, you like gold and silver? I picked up some more stuff. I bought some Super Friends because I'm a nerd. If you put Batman, so this is Iron Man versus Thanos on a silver coin. Are you kidding? I was just on the internet and I just saw this Thanos silver coin. He's fighting Iron Man and they put it on a silver coin. I'm in. You're not gonna ask me twice. So I usually buy 3 so I can look at them, and then I buy a 20. I buy a 20 lot of everything I buy. By the way, I was on some silver stacker. Why do I have so many tickers on the screen? That's just the watch. Those are just watch lists. So this screen right here, that's a great question. This screen right here is just to give me an overview of Dow Jones, AI, infrastructure, recent IPOs, dog shit IPOs, more dog shit IPOs, worthless pieces of shit internet stocks, some biotech, some other worthless piece of shit stocks over there. Oh, another list that's called worthless piece of shits over there too. If you get it, most stocks are worthless pieces of shit to me. Oh, I'm going to get banned from TikTok. I used bad words. Oh no. Yeah, I don't own stocks. Most stocks to me are pump and dump garbage. But this is just to give me an overview of what sector is breaking away from the pack. Right now, everything's just nothing. There's nothing going on. Up there is the algorithm running on the chart, blue line and orange line. And that's just a scanner that's scanning the overall market. That scans about 6,000 stocks that have, usually average volume of 500,000 or 1 million shares hitting new highs, just to give an overview of. I could build it for you. This is all self-made, but I've been using the same setup for now 25 years. And the scanner up here, it's not one of those scanners that somebody's trying to sell you. All this is doing is searching for highs and lows on stocks that have decent amount of volume. And it gives you an overview of, what's going on. The speed of the ticker itself indicates the amount of activity going on. It tips you off to some ideas. You could also, when you become familiar with the names, that, okay, that's biotech, that's Bitcoin, that's some more Bitcoin stocks related, MSTR. You got some software names, you got Circle in the network, and that's McDonald's. So you get a heads up of what stocks are trending. Now, by the way, speaking of squadouche, right? There's the Myrna scalp again. But before we go any further, what I'd like to do again to get you off this terrible app, and it is terrible. It is not a good place. There's real crime going on this site, and they don't have any government. They have no policing. They have nothing. They have word in algorithms to kick me off TikTok, but they have no governing body. There is no law. They're stealing your identity. They're stealing your IP address. Yeah, Myrna Long right now. Yeah, very good. So what I'm trying to do is, the more I come on TikTok, the reason I'm coming on is to try to get you off this app. Come join my website, or at least come on YouTube, where there is a little bit more freedom to do what I do, and I don't have to worry about being flagged or being impersonated. And like I said, if you're just joining me, I'm being impersonated by 21 individual accounts. 3 of them have launched businesses around me. And I contacted lawyers, and the lawyers said, good luck. I was like, what does that mean? They're like, good luck. I was like, good luck what? Good luck. He's like, good luck trying to stop them. They're from Russia, or they're from China. All they got to do is put your name into a chat GPT and say copy trading program or mentorship program. It builds the website. It launches it, everything. It takes them 20 minutes to do it. And if by some chance there is some sort of law, all they do is shut it down and launch it under a different name. So I've been told by lawyers that it's virtually impossible to stop this from happening. So my only recourse is to get off this app and bring everybody to TikTok, to YouTube, or come right to the website just to get off there. So anyway, if you're looking at the Myrna, right, that's the same trade. So as we're just trading this one stock all day, the first trade obviously was the best, got stopped out. Then second one, not bad. Third one we did, not bad. And now if this was your fourth one, again, there's your VWAP break. There's your hold. Reason to buy it, 141, very limited risk. You're looking at the bottoms of these candles as your stops. And again, you're not seeing monster trades today, but you buy 300 shares of a stock at 141 and it goes up 75 cents, right? 300 shares, which is your typical buy for me. They don't go crazy. Any stocks over 120. You could do 300 shares. I've done 1,000. I could. But generally, that's a nice, comfortable lot. 300 shares, stock goes up 75 cents. Just for easy math, 300 shares goes up 50 cents. It's 150 bucks. Well, this screen right here, that's called volume weighted average price. And if you have some time today, because I'll probably be here all day, and my friend, he's here all day as well, send us an email. My favorite song, you should know it, Kenny Glick Trivia Night. My favorite song by far, and I've got a million songs that I love, but if I had to choose one, let's see if anybody knows my favorite song first. What's my favorite song? I know one person knows my favorite song. I'll give you a hint. It's something about tripping. That's second. My favorite song is, drum roll, White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane. And every version, I haven't found a bad version. I've got over, I think, 36 versions of it. Techno versions, heavy metal versions, opera versions. Yeah, by far, I think that might be I think it's the best song ever made. It's the most beautifully, constructed song because it builds from the moment it starts right to the end. And it's only 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. It's by far. If I had a second place, there's a million second place songs. But yeah, Wharf Rat's right there. But you know what my second favorite song is? When people used to ask me what were the top three, the song I walked into, and again, these are all trivia questions, so you don't get scammed. What song did Kenny Glick walk in to his wedding to when they introduced me for the first time as the Mr. and Mrs. Glick for the first time coming into the party? Let's welcome Mr. and Mrs. Glick as they roll into the party, and let's party now. Here they come.
Is there nothing I could say, nothing I could do? Change my mind, I'm so in love with you. You're too deep in, you can't get out. You're just a poor girl in a rich man's house. You keep promises I never meant to keep. Just look at me, there's something to see. I'll be your savior, steadfast and true. I come to your emotional rescue.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. Plus, SEC football starts this Saturday. So I don't know where you guys will be, but I'll be watching Georgia football with my Stockton jersey on. So if you guys are out there, YouTubers, TikTokers, 1209 here on August 31st, we've conquered. We've made our money for today. It's pretty much in the bag, right? And as the theme of today is just listening to some music, casually chilling, not much going on. One of the most important rules, right? I do trade options and futures, yeah. But one of the most important rules of trading, right, is knowing when to not trade. You better know when to fold them, right? Know when to walk away. Know when to run. So yeah, I will show you my setup if you guys send me an email. So my setup is all about here, right? It's all about these blue lines and orange lines. The red lines are where we place our own stops, and you'll see how clean my charts are because there's really not much on them. So here, let's look at a stock that's that's moving. So MSTR, you all know it, right? MSTR is basically Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, MSTR, was doing squadoosh, right? Just chopping around under the VWAP today. What we do for a living is we take these levels, right, and we give them a couple of names. Under the VWAP going sideways, we call that the Andy Dufresne pattern. What broker? It doesn't matter what broker. They're all the same. The broker, it's the software you need, I think. But the software that I use is Thinkorswim and a company called Lightspeed and another one called E-Trade, right? But the first thing you need to know is chart pattern recognition and where to place trades. Once you understand that, then it doesn't matter what broker you use because they're all basically the same. So right here, you've got a perfect setup, right? The blue line and the orange line, right? And if you're wondering if it works with Bitcoin, it does. It works with any financial instrument that has an algorithmic nature to it. Some small cap stock that nobody's trading, it won't work because nobody's trading it. It's not part of the algorithmic system, right? Nobody cares. Nobody trades it. Why would you? You wouldn't. But MicroStrategy, everybody knows it. Everybody's trading it. That's when it works the best. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a blue line and an orange line. That's it. That's your whole setup. The main setup around it is where you make your money. So when the stock goes sideways, we call it the Andy Dufresne. So usually there's a peak where it hits and a low where it bottoms out. And it creates this sideways range. So if you don't know who Andy Dufresne is was, and if you guys don't know, I'll give you a picture you could follow along. Andy Dufresne. Andy Dufresne. Wait, hang on. So if you know Andy Dufresne, and if you spelled Dufresne right on the first try, you get a $10 gift card. Andy Dufresne was framed for a murder that he didn't commit, and he was sent to Shawshank Redemption, where he met his friend Red. If you guys remember some of the scenes, maybe you haven't, maybe you haven't. But if you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, stop what you're doing, forget about trading for a second, and go watch a movie, because it is one of the best movies ever made. But Andy Dufresne, for 20 years, I don't want to ruin it for you, haven't seen the movie, but he tunnels his way under the prison. And that tunnel was a sewer pipe. And he's working his way through that sewer pipe covered in muck and disgustingness to come out, and he runs to freedom. So I equate that with when a stock goes down and then starts to go sideways. The stock is building, it's digging the tunnel under the prison. The prison is VWAP, right? So under the prison wall, it comes out of the prison wall and runs to his friend, the orange line, where his friend is waiting for him with the boat to escape. And sometimes that escape goes even further. But the main thing you need to know is that sideways action, right? So when I say I have a 100% win rate, when these trades set up the way they do on stocks that are in play, like a Myrna or an MSTR or something that's in the news, and this is the part where I lose a lot of people. The trade, I know, get ready. Get ready. You ready for this? When the trade shows up on an earnings report or generally stocks that are in the news, I know that, get ready. I'm going to say it out loud. Here it comes. Get ready. It works 100% of the time. I know. I know it's impossible to believe. You can start throwing things. It's okay. I'm used to it. Boo that man. He just said something works every time. I know. Nothing works every single time. But lately, this trade, and when I say lately, the last 4 years, when this specific setup forms under VWAP, Andy Dufresne, breaking through Andy Dufresne with prior day VWAP, our wonderful algorithmic orange line that we created here, above the blue, almost 100% of the time, you at least get an attempt to rally to the orange line, if not get there. And in that moment, you can make money. And that's why each day when I say to you, hey, if you bought a stock, and I mean this is a real question for everybody, right? If you bought a stock at 127 and it goes to 129, right? That's not the whole part of the question. You bought a stock at 127, it goes to 129 within 20 minutes of you being in it, and then it goes to 130, and at the end of the day, the stock ends at 123.50. Remember, you bought it at 127, and it went to 130, and ended the day at 123.50. What a disaster. Was it a good trade? I'll wait. Always scalping, yes. And that's a hint right there. What that person just said. Do you scalp? Yes. Well, day trading by nature, day trading by default is a scalping business. You're in and out, as my friend Voz once said, in and out like honeymoon something. I can't say it on TikTok because I'll get banned, but you understand. Right, exactly. So as a trader, if you're buying something at 127, not only is it a great trade if it gets to 130, you've already sold on your way there if there's an orange line nearby. So if you get blue line or orange line, you're selling 50% of your position already. So if you bought, let's say 200 shares, you've sold 100 shares and you've collected that money. Then you say to yourself, well, all right, that was a nice trade. As long as it doesn't break back below the blue line, I'm going to hang in there. And if it stays above the orange line, I'm going to hang in there. And then now that it's above the orange line, you what we call raise your stop. So you're hoping it keeps going, but then you lock it up because now it's telling you something. It got to the orange line once, got rejected, got there again, got rejected, finally got over it, held it. You don't want to be in it now if it breaks back below it. So that's your stop. And each day that we go through this, right, it becomes redundant and monotonous and robotic, otherwise known as algorithmic trading. So my whole life as a human, I've already been trading algorithmically. So then, by the way, this is the story I'm telling you now. I'm recording this for my website. The reason I say this trade saved my life, right, is because everything that you need, that you lack as a trader, which is discipline, patience, and discipline, is embedded in the trade because you are now trading. You are trading robotically. It takes the emotion out of the trade. If I buy the stock at 137.50 and it goes to 138.50, I will take some profits, expecting the stock to go to 140, but I will take profits along the way. I will then raise my stop to my entry price to ensure that I cannot lose on this trade. Now the stock is at 139.50. I will sell some more on its way to 140 by raising my stop to 138.50. And every time you put a trade on, you don't have to do the robot while you're doing the trade. But when I talk about how a lot of this industry, books, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of books have been written about trading. Either it's a setup that they want to teach you, or most trading books are, let's see what this guy writes about. Hold on. This is knowing your options. Hold on a second. Most books in somewhere. Where's that book I like to read every once in a while? I don't know. Anyway, I got a couple of books on trading. None of them are really that good except for the Bible. This is our Bible. This is all about what we do for a living here, anchored VWAP and volume weighted average price. But a lot of trading, a lot of books are written on the philosophy, but mostly the psychology of trading. Right? And you always hear that. Fear gets in the way, your emotions get in the way, right? Fear is an emotion, greed is an emotion. Those emotions get in the way. If you trade the way we trade, it immediately takes all of that out by default. Because if the stock breaks this price, I will sell it. Is there an emotion involved in there? No. If the stock gets to this price, I will sell it. Is there an emotion involved in there? No. It takes it right out of the game, which then makes you a better trader. So if you trade our style, you immediately become a better trader because you get to the point where, and if you're out there listening, wait a second, hold on, come here, get closer, everybody. Come here, if you're out there listening, because I know he's out there. The guy called me dangerous, who I am. He called me reckless. Not really. Ask my family. I don't even like going on jet skis. It makes me nervous because I'm doing something reckless and might get hurt. I don't do things where I have even a chance of getting hurt. I don't even like going on jet skis anymore. I don't do anything with the chance of me getting hurt. That also translates into the way that I trade. So somebody called me reckless and dangerous. He did call me the biggest narcissist on the internet. Thank you. I try. I am. but it's also kind of shtick in a way. But let's talk about the reckless, dangerous. So he called me reckless and dangerous. Somebody once called me criminally negligent 12 years ago for the same reasons. Because each morning I remind people that economic data and the CPI, the beige book, yes, even the interest rates meeting, yes, the meeting that's coming out on Wednesday, Jackson Hole, yes, none of it matters. None of it matters. Because does anybody remember the CPI data? It's going on 2.5 weeks now. Does anybody remember what that was? No. Did you make trading decisions based on CPI? You didn't. So let's call it not caring. Even earnings reports, even a term policy. If you know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I have Tourette's, TV Tourette's. Even a term policy. Even the earnings themselves are irrelevant. We're trading the reaction to the earnings. Well, then aren't you trading the earnings themselves? Not really. People think you need to learn about what they said. Well, the EBITDA was this, and they were expecting that, and all this other shit. None of it matters. It matters how the market responds to that event. And then 15 minutes after that reaction, you're now back in the algorithmic nature of the market. So by default, economic data, earnings, who the president is, what they're saying about Iran, the geopolitical effects, and interest rates, Jackson Hole, and all of that stuff, irrelevant. And when you get to the point where you really truly understand that, some people are like this guy who said, I'm reckless and dangerous, clueless, and a narcissist about it. That guy is completely wrong. Now, if I was a hedge fund manager, sure, and I've got 17 billion or 29 billion under management with positions all over the place, hinged on what's going to happen over the market to the market for the next 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, it's a whole different game. Do I care about that stuff? Do I look like I care? No. This is the face of a guy who doesn't care, right? What I do care about is what my risk is and what my reward is, and what am I going to do when I'm in the winning trade, and what am I going to do when I'm not winning. That's the only thing that matters in trading. So why am I buying it? Faux show, bro, VWAP break. Why am I selling it? Finger of God, which is the inverse of the faux show, bro. Rollover, VWAP break. And when you start to see it, there's only 4 varieties of a stock that any stock could do. It's called a gap and crap. Gaps down, still goes lower, then becomes the Andy Dufresne into the Kardashian bottom, meaning there's a little butt cheek there somewhere. This is not a really pronounced one. This is just more or less an Andy with a fake out, shake out. They're trying to fake you out by breaking the lows of the day. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Now, this is what we're going to talk about on the class, right? So the better you get at this, you'll start seeing the bottoms of the ranges. Fake them out, shake them out. You'll be buying on the way up. But you see how right at VWAP, this is why you're not buying the VWAP break per se. Let's say you did buy the VWAP break. I'm in. Andy Dufresne, VWAP break. Kenny, you tell me this trade's going to work. All right, you're in. And it goes up, and then it starts to go back down, and then it breaks the low from where you came from. Right here, most traders are like, well, you told me it was going to go up. No, I didn't tell you nothing. I told you if you see a faux show, bro, Andy Dufresne, VWAP break, buy it. Now you're in. All right, so now you got to remember the rest of the rules. The rest of the rules are, so you're buying a VWAP break? All right, cool. The prior lows below that VWAP break are your stops. That would be that price and the low of the day. Not this. This is what we call a jiggle and a shuffle. But in that jiggle and shuffle presents a new trade setup in itself. Tries to break. What does it do? It breaks the prior low, breaks the prior low. That's a mini fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. So this 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes is proving itself to you. Most traders will sell during this chop, and that's why you probably got stopped out of CBRS, didn't you? Didn't you? Didn't you? Right? So again, if you see my charts, oh, let me do you a favor. Do me a favor right now. If you're genuinely interested in what I'm saying, come on over. It's free. Just email me right this second. So let me see if you guys are really interested. I'll put my AOL address on the screen, and I'll say it out loud. My name's Kenny Glick. There is only one me, by the way. And I only have one email address that means anything. If they're emailing you from a different email address, it's definitely not me. I still use Kenny Glick at AOL.com. Yes, I'm AOL old. Some of you kids don't even know what the hell AOL is. And that's my point. That's why I still use it. So if you're interested in seeing what we're doing over there today, send me an email address. How much does it cost? It's free. When are you going to charge me for something? Never. Well, how do I get in? You send me an email, kennyglick@aol.com. You say, you are handsome, charismatic, and I would like to be more like you. And then I will send you an email back with a link that opens up this back office. And then you will see an area to put your name. You could give yourself a fake name if you want. It's okay. Call yourself, I don't know, Quint, the shark hunter. Put your email address in, and then your phone number. You can put in 718, whatever the hell you want. I'm not going to call you anyway. But the most important thing is to put your password in. And I'll give you the password right now. Learn to earn. Capital L, capital E. But you need the link. So me telling you the password here doesn't help. But if you email me, you'll understand why we're still long CBRS 3.5 hours later because of a faux show VWAP break. I've only done 1 or 2 trades today. One was Myrna, and the other one was CBRS. Because this stock, going back to the premise of trading, right? I've got a trade that works every time. Really? That's impossible. I know. But it's so damn specific. But when it shows up, it gives you a winning trade every single time. That's impossible. I know. But it keeps happening. I can't explain it. Right? So what that trade is the fake out, shake out, 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. And sometimes it forms a couple of times a day. And this last one is the best one because now everybody's feeling left out and it's running away from everybody. So now what do you do when you're in a stock down here at 179.50 that you've already sold at 182.50 and you were about to get stopped out but it never broke 180? What are you doing up here? You're going to sell some. But more importantly, it's not about where it goes next. Now, here's the part that most traders get lost. I don't care what happens now. I believe it will go to 185. But now my stop remains one of the prices where I sold, which is the 182.50. But now something different has happened. The stock just broke another new high. And it's becoming 1232. No, it's not becoming 1232. This is the notorious time of the day on a slow day where we tend to gravitate right back to VWAP. So I got to think to myself, as much as I love this trade, I'm going to put 2 stops on. Even if I have 33 shares left, I'm going to put 20 shares at the breakout price, which was the high break when 183 and the 182.50. So now even with, let's say you had 3 shares left, you're putting 1 share at 183, 2 shares at 82.50, and you're hoping it goes to 185. But we've won the money. I won the money. Don't ever let a winning trade become a losing trade. And that is kind of CBRS today and MSTR. That's not MSTR. Well, MSTR, if you're in it, yeah, same type of trade. CBRS and the Myrna, right? The Myrna, now this is doing squadouche on a squadouche kind of day. But you should expect this. And that's what we're seeing. And thank you, Ronnie Tejeda. What a great name. That's a great name. Sorry to mention your whole full name on the internet, but that's a great name. I don't know why. It's something good about it. It's going to be my stage name now for the next couple of weeks. Ronnie Tejeda. I'm going to use that name, as a matter of fact, when I check into the next restaurant. I like that name. That's a good name. And for trivia question, what's my go-to restaurant name? And if anybody remembers that, I will give you a $10 gift card right now. What is the name that I use when I book restaurants? Anyone? If anybody remembers that name, that'd be pretty funny. I've said it a million times. What name do I use when because I never use my real name. What fun is it giving your real name when you check into restaurants? Dirk Diggler, great guess. Oh, and if you don't know who Dirk Diggler is, oh man, that's the drip. That's the best part. It's a pretty big dick. Whoa. Dirk Diggler, great name. All right. Well, the name that I use for trivia questions, the name I use is Steve Balaciano, spelled just like you think it is. BLBALASIANO. Balaciano. Steve Balaciano. But now I'm going to be using Ronnie Tejeda. I like that name. Wait, I know I just lost their email. What the hell just happened? What happened? I lost your email. What happened? Now I can't send it. What the hell's going on? Where'd you go, Ronnie? Ronnie! There you are. Hang on. Let me get you the link. So Ronnie Tejeda will be joining us in momentarily. Let's all say hello to Ronnie. We'll jump him in when he gets here. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a link to my room with the password. And here's the fun part. You can stay logged in for the next 5 days. You won't even have to log out because I'm not shutting the room down. And then we'll talk about what's going on for September. So Chris, you're in. And let's send it out to Ronnie. What song is that? Ronnie. Oh, it's Four Seasons. Ronnie. No, 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 Ronnie. So here's what we're doing, right? So the idea here, right, is that again, I've lived my life on the internet. I'm one of those kids that was around before the internet, and I'll be able to survive. Well, I wouldn't really be able to survive. I say that, but I probably wouldn't be able to survive without the internet. I don't think anybody can now. But I think I'd be able to figure it out, right? I lost my train of thought now. The internet, something about the internet. I have no clue. Stop smoking weed. My short-term memory is slipping. I forget what I'm saying in the middle of a sentence. It's always a good sign, right? Dementia setting in. But anyway, yeah. So this is a good week to come in and, kind of see what this is all about. And if you could survive a week where it's really, really slow and not much going on, remember, when the activity perks up again, the trades will be the same. There'll just be more of them and better follow through. You still have to know how to get in, where to put your stops, what to expect. And that's why this week's a good time to do what we're doing here, just chilling, learning. And then on September 2nd, I'm doing a 1 o'clock promotion, and that's going to lead into something I do actually sell. But I'm doing something extraordinary, especially for the TikTokers and the YouTubers. because of the skepticism, because of the jadedness and the untrustworthy nature of this environment that we're in, I'm probably going to be doing something for $20. And it's something that usually is a $500 thing. And we're going to do it for $20 just for that month, just to break the ice, to get you in the room, to be in the real room, to see what it's like, to receive the emails, to get your ideas, to be with us from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, to really want to see what this is all about. And on September 26th, I'm going to get together on a Saturday. Yes, Saturday. And then we're going to talk about all the trades that we've been doing lately, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what the heck we do here every day. And then hopefully by the end of September, as we start rolling back into options and not options, earnings season. Let's see when earnings season starts again for real. I believe. Hang on a second. I'll tell you the date. These next 3 weeks is going to be very important to prepare for the next onslaught of activity. And that's all the trading is. Preparation meets the opportunity, creates your wonderful trade. So the first trade, who comes out first? JP Morgan. JP Morgan, October 13th. Perfecto, right? So the whole month of September, which is usually a volatile, scary month, we're going to navigate it. We're going to have a class. We're going to have a couple of Thursday night sessions. We're going to have a lot of stuff to get you acclimated to what's about to happen. And then we're going to start ripping this market to shreds again. Come earnings season. And when I say rip it to shreds, doesn't mean we're shorting or buying. It's just we're going to be on the right side of every trade like we normally are. Because we're pretty good at what we do. All right, so I'm sending out the emails right now. I just sent to Ronnie. Na? Is your first name Na? Oh, Francis Na. From Ghana. Do you know my son is best friends from are you Guyanese, I guess, or from Ghana? Ghana. Guyana. I don't know how to pronounce it, but his best friend, they just went to a dinner together and everything was very, very spicy. And he said I would have probably been dead within the first minute. But yeah, Francis, we got our friend. We're hip to the Guyanese. My son's best pal and one of his co-workers. They all went out together to some Guyanese restaurant. I heard it was spicy. I probably would have been in trouble. And then you got Sam. Sam, there you go. Not from Gaia. All right. So you guys should be getting these emails right now. Oh, if I was in Florida, yeah, I'd probably be getting into the fight with the Gators. Yeah. SEC, man. Let's get crazy. All right, Sam, you should have got your email. And if we're lucky, and I mean it, if we're lucky, my partner might be around today. I'm not sure if he is because he does private sessions. He does a whole different thing. I don't know if he's around. He's also gay for VWAP, like me. And I just got banned off of TikTok, right? Uh-oh. If he's around, he'll be doing a little broadcast when I get off the air. And then we all wrap up the day together at 3 o'clock. And let me tell you, as boring as today is, tomorrow won't be as boring because tomorrow morning, we've got enough to concentrate on. Like we had enough today. Today was Myrna and CBRS, two good choices, really good choices compared to what's going on today. But tomorrow morning, we got something important. Tomorrow afternoon. Sorry, let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. So tonight we don't have much, right? Tonight's nothing. So tomorrow morning, we have to wait till NIO is a wannabe Chinese car company. Probably not a fake company. MDT is Medtronic. You got company been around forever. And Jimmy's favorite stock is coming out, Yext, which has been in an uptrend lately, YEXT. So we'll have at least some stocks to watch. And then Tuesday evening, Dell, Credo, Pan W, MDB, GitLab. One, if not two of those, will be monster trades come Wednesday morning. So we're definitely going to have something to do. And then Wednesday morning, we also have Fuel Cell, which is quite often in play only on earnings day. Not a great stock, but and then you got Daytech, if you guys know about DAKT. And then you got Wednesday evening, we got Broadcom, Snow, Hewlett Packard, NTAP, Five Below. That's a lot. You got Wolf, you got AI. As long as their companies are reporting earnings, there will be activity the following day. And that's where you stay focused, right? So plenty to be going on, but plenty to stay focused on. That's what should be great. So we'll stay focused on those names and we'll teach you how to trade those names. And if anybody happens to be in CBRS or Myrna, right? How nice. Staying with these two names all day. If you missed the first one, second one not bad, third one not bad, fourth one pretty good. All the same trade. Faux show VWAP holds, buy. Faux show VWAP hold, buy. Faux show VWAP hold, buy. And CBRS, if I haven't mentioned it, let me mention it one more time. This is my favorite stock to trade, especially at these levels. And let me tell you something about my favorite stock. 3 weeks ago, is it 3 weeks? Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, the stock did something I was waiting for it to do for 3 months. And I got very excited. And 2 days later, I was not excited at all. This is absolutely why I became a trader and not an investor or a swing trader. This stock would have absolutely cost me some money, but I don't take swing trading seriously. So the day after I bought it and it didn't go up anymore, I immediately sold it for a small loss. And, I felt like I did something wrong 2 days ago, 3 days later, but these last 6 days, holy freaking shit. But now the stock's back to where I start my swing trades generally. And that's why I've been trading CBRS today, because for the good swing trader, the swing trade comes out of the good day trade. For instance, if CBRS, if you're in from 180 and you've sold 82.50, and let's say you do some 85, and it closes between 82.50 and 85 at 4 o'clock, and you're still in the share, that's what you make a decision, right? That is coming from a position of strength. All right, I'm on this trade. I've made some money. The stock has done very well for us at this 180 level. I'm going to hold the last 20% of this position now that it's gone well for me overnight. And then the next day, you treat it just like a brand new company stock, and you're in it. If it obeys new rules, you stay in it for the next day. And that's how swing trading happens. But right now, yes, everything we do is about order flow. So what we do best is we take the order flow and it gets embedded in volume weighted average price. So order flow, institutional order flow, all that stuff that you read about on the internet that's becoming popular, we built it in 2012. And that's why it's working better, because more people are using that type of indicator, order flow indicators. They're using their institutional order flow. They're using the dark pool indicators, all the stuff that we've been using for the last 15 years. That's why we're better at this than anybody else, because we're the innovators of it. We should be the best. Plus, we understand the algorithmic nature of the market better than anybody else as well. So we have a trade that works really well, and it's only getting better the more people that use it. And that's why it's fantastic. So if you guys are just joining us, hi, my name is Kenny Glick. I'm the guy that's going to debunk most of the things that you think you need in this market. You don't need a fancy computer. You don't need a nice desk, first of all. You don't need monitors. As long as the monitor is able to be seen, you can see the things that are on the monitor, you're good. And I lost the bet. Nobody's asked me about a Bloomberg terminal yet. I'm kind of surprised. Nobody has a Bloomberg terminal. No trader day trader who's living minute to minute needs a Bloomberg terminal. That's just for hedge funds and trading bonds back and forth to each other in the dark pools, or talking to analysts. That it's helpful, but not to the things that we need it for. Plus, now it costs, I think, $12,000 a month to have a Bloomberg terminal. I think it was $3,000 when I first got started in the business. And that's my story. And I'll be recording this story for my website. I was referring to my good friend Voss. Yeah. She wrote that day traders are in and out like honeymoon. I don't know what word she used there, but you know what she was trying to say. And that's it. So we basically navigate the markets as best as we can each day. Nobody navigates intraday activity better than we do. That's not supposed to sound like somebody, but it's not a joke. Nobody navigates the market better than we do intraday, because we invented what we do. We should be good at it, right? But once you take an overnight, that skill and that ability to navigate the markets intraday drops by 80%. I'm a loser, right? I go from a 90% win rate to a 4% win rate. So you know what I've chosen to do? Not do that thing that only works 4% of the time, and that's taking overnights. Right? So what I've spent most of my life doing, right, is reminding people of the things not to do. How do I know not to do those things? Because I've tried, I've experimented, right? Life is full of making choices. You don't know you're making a bad choice until you realize it's a bad choice. But once you've made that bad choice and you've lived through it, now you know what choices are bad. That's why if you've made it this far, I have seen every environment to trade in. I've seen every trade. I've seen every indicator. There's nothing somebody could ask me about that I haven't tried or seen. And I've made every mistake you could possibly make. And I've managed to survive the shadiest, hardest, most awful industry ever, other than show business, which is even worse. Thank you for your flower. So now, again, all we try to do on a daily basis is do the best we can by loving this CBRS trade. Thank you very much for hanging in there with this one, as we're about to get out of some at 185, hopefully. Ooh, what if it doesn't hit 185? Well, then you're going to have to sell it at 183. Well, I don't want to sell it at 183. Well, then sell it now. I can't tell you what to do. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I'm expecting to get 185 out of it. And that's also part of trading. Like, I've already sold most of it. I'm down to 33 shares. I literally don't care what's going to happen next, right? Right? That's what you want to be there. You want to be in the position where you're like, all right, I hope I make an extra $60 in this trade, but if I give back the extra 60, whatever. Because what I do best is sell and watch stocks go up after I sell out of them. But that's usually a good thing. Because if you're buying faux show, bro, ass crack, VWAP breaks, and you're getting paid your 2.5, that's the majority of the trade. The extra is icing on the cake on a day where there's not much going on. And that leads me back to why we're here. Get to know me. Get to know me, get to know my algo, get to know my pal Soligello. All we do is algorithmic trading, and it cuts through all the nonsense that you find on the internet, like ICT trading, or worse, joining a prop firm where you pay money to join a contest to try to get funded, and they keep changing the rules. You know, when they keep moving the goalposts, that's what they do to you. They don't want you to succeed. That's their business model. Failure. My business model is also is a bad business model, because if we do a good job at what we do, we don't make any more money. Right? Understand? So if you pay, let's say, whatever, we used to charge crazy amounts of money because we did mentoring, we would sell you the platform itself. Let's throw a number out there, 12,500. What? Yep. 12,500 when I first started doing this. People were paying 12,500 just to be part of what we do. And there was a lot to it. You got the code, you got the screen, you got the setup, you got a private session with me, a private session with the algo guy. We don't even do that anymore because we're too busy. But even that, the business model is flawed, right? A year goes by, you become a great trader, and then you don't re-up your membership fees because you think you've done well and you're doing all right, and you say goodnight. And you say, thanks for that education. It's a great 12,500 I ever spent. And then you go on your merry way. Our business model is flawed, but it's okay because there's a lot of people. Plus, we make money as traders as well. So we kind of do everything. So you're the one person who has made it through. Well, I'm interested because obviously some people make it, right? So you might be my first person. I've heard nothing but negativity. I've heard that nobody gets funded. I heard they charge you for different things, and then they move the goalpost where you think you are doing something well, where they'll give you the money to trade. I'm only basing this. I've never lived that life, but I've only heard negative things. So I garnering my opinion. If that many people telling me they've been scammed, I'm assuming it's a scammy kind of setup where they're duping you into a contest to try to get funded. And they make the rules so hard that you can't get funded, but they just want your $150 or whatever it is. Now, if you think about it, and I'll explain what I'm about to say, prop trading originally and still out there, they don't care about you either, but at least they don't charge you any additional money. Like if you show up to a real prop firm doesn't care if you make money or not. They want you to make money because they make a little bit more from you. But the nature of the business has changed. They used to make money off commission. Now it's just order flow, right? So they used to want you to trade more because they were making money on every trade. They still do, but it's so insignificant. But a real prop firm, they don't care about you winning or losing. They just, oh, you got $4,000? All right, cool. We'll give you 20 grand to trade with during the day. Good luck. It's just like the casino where as long as you have some sort of credit, they'll give you credit. They don't care if you win or lose, right? Oh, you want some credit? Sure. But at a certain point, they'll cut you off. What's up? What's the best thing to do for a 14-year-old trader? Well, first of all, awesome that you're 14 getting into this. You shouldn't be doing anything except learning. Learning about this. But I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to contact, what is this guy's name? So anyway, and I'm going to leave right now. So if you guys are interested, just email me. My name's Kenny Glick at AOL.com. And I don't use prop firms. I am my own prop firm. But what I want you to do, right, is when these guys go by, Steve Banks 001 says 4,800 for the first 5 people to message him. Hello. There you go. He'll fund your account right there. Isn't TikTok the greatest place ever? I mean, this guy, Steve Banks 001 hyphen, he says $4,800 for the first 5 people to message him. Hello. Did I get there in time? Because I'm messaging you, Steve. Now, will that money come in check or cash? Will you be sending me this money Venmo or Zelle? I'm waiting. Because Steve Banks, remember, God first, forever in profits, CEO, helping others to achieve success daily, Moneybags chart screen. He's someone you need to trust. He's giving out $4,800. Oh, you're in the Forex industry. Well, then I wish you, I will tell you this right now. Don't. The only strategy that works, except in Forex, that's why Forex doesn't exist in my realm. I've got a trade that's been working for 30 years. It's called a fake out, shake out, 1 minute multi day VWAP gap reversion. It's based on anchored VWAP and chart pattern recognition. It's the same trade I've been using since 2012, and it works almost every time it shows up. But the only thing it doesn't work on is Forex. So that's why I don't trade Forex. And I personally, just like I've never met somebody, I don't know, maybe this guy might be the one. I've never met anybody that's gotten through the testing and who actually became a successful trader and that's being paid by a prop firm. I haven't met anybody. I'm sure they're out there. But as I've read and people are telling me, it's so difficult to do because they make it so difficult to succeed. So that's why I'm curious. What if I tried? Would I succeed? Because if I can't do it, and that doesn't sound funny, but if I can't do it, nobody can. Because I make money almost every trade I place, I make money on. So if I don't get funded, then how the hell can you get funded? But I don't got the time to do that. And that's what leads me back to what I'm trying to do here. Learn this, then go try to get funded. Because this algorithmic thing that we do definitely works. There's no what's the word I'm looking for? So I'll tell you about it. So basically, anytime, or better yet, send me an email so I can get off this TikTok before I get thrown off. So listen, I can't stay on this app for more than 45 minutes. So I'm going to leave you with this. My name's Kenny Glick. My favorite number is 43. My favorite song is what? What's my favorite song? White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane. What's my second favorite song? Emotional Rescue. My favorite number is 43. Who's my broker's name? My broker's name is Jan Grossman. And the first stock that I bought was IGT. I will never contact anybody on TikTok. I'm being impersonated by 21 people. They're trying to rob you. They have a mentorship program. They built a website with my face on it as if it's me. It's not me. They also have a copy trade program, right? Let me tell you right one time. Nobody makes money copy trading, because then you're either the guy's having a good day and you're having a good day, or you're having a bad day and I'm having a bad day. Copy trading is for losers, because you're going to lose in the end, because you're not getting the same copy trade as the head trader anyway, because there's no way to execute two trades simultaneously at the same time using two separate platforms. That's why copy trading is bullshit. Trust me, I've been in the industry quite a while. The only thing to do is to learn from us, experience what it feels like to win, how to find the winning trades, where to place your stops, how to navigate the market using VWAP and anchored VWAP, and you'll be a great trader. And the first step is to come hang out with us. We're the nicest group of people. I'm the douchiest douche you'll ever meet. But once I'm done trading, my douchiness goes away. I'm a different person when we're in the heat of battle. You'll get used to that. This is my normal self, by the way. This is how I normally am. But when I'm in the heat of battle, I'm cursing. I'm here to take heads. I don't give a hoot. See what I did there? I don't give a hoot about whom I'm offending, who's paying attention. And I generally don't care about other people's opinion, because everyone has an opinion. Just like, well, I can't say that joke either on TikTok because I'll get flagged. It's something about body parts. So anyway, if you're just joining us right now, thank you for being here. I'm trying to get everybody off TikTok. Email me at kennyglick@aol.com. I'm going to email you a link. You're going to come hang out with us. Either I'll be on the air or my gay friend, Solid Jello. We're gay for VWAP, by the way. Also, today is just one day. We'll go over some of these trades that we did. We'll come back later. We got 3 hours left. We got earnings coming out this week. It's going to be a slow week. And this is where we could be more deliberate with our education, right? Short schlong. I got tiny feet, tiny head. What do you think? Tiny feet. I got a 7. I only wear a 6 7/8. What did he just say about 6 7/8? Now I'm getting banned. Right. Gay for VWAP. Exactly. Remember, you're not gay if you don't push back. All right. We're crossing the line here. Soon we're going to get banned. KennyGlick@AOL.com. And while you're at it, after you're done emailing me, Kenny Glick, KennyGlick, right, at AOL.com. And then take a second to Google me, Kenny Glick. Google me. You'll find those 2 people that were very angry at some trade that he did in Yext. He's still out there. Jimmy's still out there. He's on a mission to try to destroy me since 2011. He had one bad trade. He's very mad. And this new guy, JD, who called me reckless and dangerous and narcissistic. You got one of those right. So if you do send me an email, remember, you got to feed into my narcissism. So, dear Kenny, you are handsome, charismatic, and I want to be more like you. Show me the way. And I will send you a link to our room or anything like around that. You could put your own commentary into the email, but I would go with something positive. What am I trading today? We traded CBRS, Myrna, mRNA, QQQ, and actually threw an Apple trade on for a second, but it's been mRNA, CBRS, and QQQ. But I can trade futures, but we didn't today. But I could show you how. Yeah, I trade anything that moves can be algorithmatized, and you could use VWAP. And there was another trade that was phenomenal that I should have took that I'll explain why I didn't and how it worked out, and that was SAIC. And but come and meet the group. That's what it's all about, right? Mike Crispy's part of one of our groups. Shane's part of our group. I use many platforms. Most of it's Thinkorswim for charting, Lightspeed and Trade Zero for execution, E-Trade for my, I was going to say swing trades, but mostly it's short. I do a lot of short strangling. That's not midget porn, but short strangles is actually an option strategy. Did he just say midget porn? Get it? Short strangling? No, nothing. Went right over your head. Short strangling. It's a chart. It's a type of option strategy. Anyway, we do it all. And just the first step is taking the first step is to come in the door, see what's up, get to know me and my crew, and then we'll talk about what's happening on the 3rd, and then the 26th, and then we'll jump you in. We'll all get tattoos, and we're going to be going. And if anybody lives in the Vegas area, yes, let me type it in for you. We're doing we're having a massive gathering in Vegas. Wait till you see me on stage in Vegas. I bring this shit on stage. Oh, man, I'm no holds barred when I'm on Vegas stages. And if you guys are in Vegas, please feel free to join us. Everybody's welcome. There's just 2 private events, which I probably can't get you into, but most of the time it's a public event. Sports picks. Well, we do that. I do that all the time. By the way, I just yeah, I lost again. I took I bet against the Yankees. It was like 7-1, so I added to the bet just for. I was like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on there?" I usually bet against sports: Jets, Mets, Yankees, Giants, Rangers too. Yeah, that was crazy. But I'm on a losing streak now for the first time in a very long time. I was betting against the Knicks. I got slaughtered. Betting against the Yankees lately, and I've been getting beat up. Even the Mets started losing on that too. I'm down like $3,000 for the month, which is very rare for me. I don't put a lot of money, but I'm on a nice losing streak right now, about $3,000 for the month. See that? It's just honesty, right? Goes a long way, right? You don't got to bullshit people, right? It is what it is. I'll make the $3,000 back. I hope. And it ain't gonna be on football because man, I stink. But all I do is bet against the Jets every week. And if they're winning in the fourth quarter, that's when I triple up the bet because they always say. I'm looking at the Jets and Giants. I don't know what people are talking about. I see the Jets winning 4 games. It's still the same old Jets to me. I'm a Jets fan, so. But great conversations. If you like silver, also, I'm a huge silver guy. Bought some more silver this weekend. I just got my delivery. Love me some silver, but I generally short the paper stuff. Huge silver guy, baseball cards, collectibles, music. And if you're in the neighborhood and you got some good weed, come on over, man. I've been smoking weed since I was 15 years old. Bros and hoes, if you guys are in the market right now, get these. Today's show brought to you by Rove Ice Packs, Purple Trainwreck. Because if you've been smoking weed as much as I have, yeah, I still like it, obviously, but you don't really get the little tinglies in your feet and the giggles. Damn, I was laughing. I was laughing my ass off. And this one guy I had just met that night, he Googled me and he wouldn't stop calling me guru. So he just walked up to me out of nowhere. He just appeared over my shoulder. You're a guru. And then I'd start laughing. I was laughing my ass off for a good 45 minutes. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm high as a little fucking schoolgirl right now. These are their Trainwreck, Purple Trainwreck, if you know strains. Very famous strain of weed. And I'm going to leave you with this. These are infused with hash oil rolled in keef. And if you like smoking weed, they're like half joints. Damn. And for a pothead like me to get so giddy off something, it's my new favorite thing. I love finding new things. And by the way, MSTR, remember that trade from earlier? MSTR. You see how it's still on if you're in it? All right. Send me an email. I'll get them out to you, and I'll be back by 2:30. And then by 3 o'clock, we should be, we're looking at some other stuff. But nice, calm day, not much happening. So good time to get to know each other. All right? Peace, my friends. KennyGlick, AOL.com. I'll send out the links as soon as I can. And I'm going to go ahead and say this Anya trader, who now started speaking in some sort of Turkish. What is that? Is that hieroglyphics? What language is that? That's pretty cool. It looks like something out of like Raiders of the Lost Ark or like the Mummy. Man, did you just curse us or bless us? What is all that? Jeez. All right, y'all. Be careful out there. Squadushi kind of day. And if you're in CBRS or MSTR, not else much going on here. All right, I'll get to those emails as soon as I get off the air. Thank you, and thank you. Remember, I'm being impersonated on TikTok. Please remember the trivia questions. And also keep in mind, I will never contact you on email, phone, or definitely through this app. I will not contact you. unless you contacted me first. Please. There's so many scammers out there. It's not me. They're trying to ruin my reputation. All right? And if you're an MSTR, well done. Peace. YouTubers, I'm out of here. Same goes for you. Why don't you join the real room? Come and hang out. Nice day to learn. And pretty solid day. I mean, didn't do much, but what we did worked well. And they're still working. I mean, now you're just getting, as a matter of fact, wait a minute. Oh, no, Coinbase is already up 8. BMNR, Iran. Yeah, they're all working now. All those, oh, there's the one there, Bull. Bull's not doing too much. Keep an eye on that Bull. All right, send me an email. I'm going to get some more breakfast. I'll be back, and then we'll take it from there. I still want to know what the idea is. Why did they say $5,000 for the first person that says hello? All right, so I say hello, then what happens? Where's my $5,000? Does it just hit my account? I mean, I don't understand what's going on the internet. But I'll tell you what, that PayPal, right? That's squadouche trading, man, right? You got to where you got it to get, and that's all she gave you, and that was all she wrote, right? Knowing how to trade in every environment, baby. That's the hit the bid way.